moments ago. Here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start, but I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
On first down, Trubisky. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Trubisky on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Well, let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So here are the Saints now with great starting field position. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Quinn. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Quinn, he's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And out now come the Vikings. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Let's go, let's go. You got three down. Come on, 180!
They go play action. Trubisky. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. We'll look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
What a spin. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Field comes New Orleans. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Quinn. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Back to the air on 2nd down. Quinn. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Quinn. That is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. across the 30 down to about the 27. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Back to throw. Quinn. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Martavis Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
180!
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And that's incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
180!
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Dorsett. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first score as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Quinn. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they worked this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield who can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On 1st and 10, Quinn. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Looking to throw. Quinn under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Everson Griffin in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And the Vikings now heading onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
180!
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Trubisky now, 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
180!
A give. This is Cook. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They run again on 1st down, Cook. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape, and in previous games, it led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass.
Now Trubisky lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Here comes Phillip Dorsett now to return it. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Legal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Uncorks one for Davis. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. There they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw. Quinn. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
180.
Trubisky to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Trubisky. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Trubisky. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's playing. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Quinn. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Quinn. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there just before halftime. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. Kelsey out in the slot right. Looking to throw. Quinn. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Hey, boys, we got four down. 180!
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Plenty to look forward to in that early window. One being a noontime start up in Green Bay. A big one for the Packers, as they'll be forced to reckon with the Atlanta Falcons. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Tennessee Titans. And then lastly, the nation gets a good one on Sunday night between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now.
Let's go. 319.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Off play action. Quinn. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. He got 29 yards that time.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, Quinn. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now it's Trubisky. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, Trubisky firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Let's get it. Sit up. 180. 180.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, sit up. 180. 82's moving. 82's moving.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
Stop. 180.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. And this one is incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Leopard. Leopard. 56
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got some space here. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. And give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st down, Quinn, he's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 51 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And they'll run it here. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Well, 3 scores in this game. I think that deserves some type of a broad gesture. I know in hockey, that's called a hat trick, and people throw their hats out on the ice. What about us? What can we do for this guy?
Well, if I'm his teammates, I'm buying him a little steak dinner tonight, right? At least a skirt steak, probably a filet.
Oh, you're going big. I like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, skirt at minimum,
skirt
filet
steak.
at
Come
maximum.
on. You can't give the guy a skirt steak.
That's
He
true.
scores 3 times.
Filet.
There you go.
10 ounce, 16 ounce.
Porterhouse.
Fine. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
4 down. Sit up. 180. Check.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Bradley Roby, the cornerback, there to make the stop. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
180. 4 down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Dorsett on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
2 tights. 4 down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Tight end's Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo. Tight end's on the Ringo.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Tight right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Check, check. Lucky.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
180. We got 4.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Reynolds. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
180.
Here's Trubisky to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Trubisky now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down.
180!
Again, it's Trubisky. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing here, Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game, the kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
180!
On first down, Trubisky finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He'll be dropped at the 30. With a shifty move, got him a couple extra on the play. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Trubisky will throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Young. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Now Trubisky to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Bishop. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Trubisky on first down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
180!
Second and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up a third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one.
56, Mike, 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for New Orleans, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to